Right, and we are live. We are back. Hello to everybody. It is the season finale. All this has finally come to this point here. The entire season that we've been following, the NNSCRA Winter Series, it all comes to a head tonight at Las Vegas. We've been hyping it up, and now the time has finally come. Got two drivers in it with a shot at this championship. Nick Gunther and Jack Marco are going to be going at it here, along with 8 others, it appears. So, yeah, final time for the series that at least has helped to kind of get things jump started here for broadcast and stuff. So I'm certainly very, very grateful for that. And thank you to Josh Mercurio for inviting me to do this. We're going to have some fun. It is Sin City, Las Vegas. And I think, yeah, going to prove to be a very thrilling championship battle, as well as going for one final win here this season, season number 3. And yeah, it's been a blast to be able to put this thing on. And yeet, says Zach, which we've got our familiar friend up here, Mr. Zach Rogers, once again.
What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas, Andrew, and we are here to crown a champion, but that will not stay in Las Vegas.
No, the party, whoever wins it, will be going ahead and probably partying wherever the heck that he wants to. And yeah, I think that just looking at the nature of this track and the nature of how these guys are tackling it, I think it's going to make for a very it's going to be competitive, but it's also going to be a very like a driver's race, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Hopefully it does. But no, yeah, you're gonna have to wheel it. You're gonna have to try to keep it under you. But at the same time, draft may come into play here. They're going to be pretty tightly packed. I think that we may see it kind of similar to Charlotte, if anyone remembers that race. As we got group qualifying going on here. But Zach, we've got 2 fantastic drivers going at it here. Nick Gunther leading Jack Merkel by 2 points. That is pretty much 2 positions on the racetrack here for this championship.
Yes, indeed. And when you look at how both drivers have done at the speedways this year, it's more or less a toss-up. Merkel showed speed, more points gained at Auto Club and Atlanta. But then when you look at Nick Gunther, Merkel was not there at Charlotte. Gunther was better at Chicagoland. He was better at Indianapolis. This track looks like it'll be very draft dependent, but there is some decent tire wear. I expect our trucks will probably hit 1.5 to 2 seconds of fall off. And it looks like it could get very tight more than anything, as Jack Merkel just scraped the turn 4 wall on exit, and he sent him right down into the grass. But so far, Merkel on provisional pole with a 30.520. Merkel told me in the garage area he is looking to be up front early and lead laps early, as Nick Gunther will continue his strategy and trend of starting at the very back.
Yeah, he's been doing the last to first, and his as he's mentioned, the Bobby Hamilton tribute tour. He's got a fresh scheme for tonight as well, which you guys will get to see here in a little bit. Absolutely
got flames
fantastic.
on it.
Yeah, flames on it. Looks like the Andy Petrie cup scheme kind of but just with the flames on the front instead. We got a new face out here with Pat McCarskey. I can't remember if he has started any of these or not. And RJ Bishop, I think, with the lap of the century here at Las Vegas, a 5-minute and 6-second lap time. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I just wish that in the decimal place, instead of an 096, it was an 069.
That would have been very, very nice indeed.
Speaking of paint schemes, Joshua Mercurio with another Ghost Energy flavor, and this time he's got the Swedish fish colors on. So that truck's covered in fish, so I guess you could say he's fishy tonight.
I think he is feeling a little fishy. He went from the reigning champion to no wins.
So maybe he can change that tonight.
He's going to be fishing for that win here tonight. I know he's going to be trying to gun it here, but boy, that's going to be a tall order here. You got 2 very competitive guys. Dunlop would have been mathematically possible to win the championship. Unfortunately, it looks like he has not been able to make it. So it really is down to those two, with the number of drivers in this race. Emmanuel Hartnett being fourth in points. I think it was like 14 back. Not enough drivers in this. And I think you only even get like 14 points max for the win, as well as the bonus points. So the best he would have been able to do would have been tie. And that would have been if there would have been, of course, more than like 12 drivers in the race. So unfortunately, it is looking like pretty much a done deal for everyone else. But for Jack and Nick, this thing is just getting started. Jack is going to be on pole here officially with a 30.520. Nick Gunther starting at the back. Two very different strategies. But yeah, I'm sure they'll both find themselves up there at some point. Cody Lamas will be starting in second place. A two-time winner this season, if I remember correctly. Emmanuel Hartnett, also two-time winner, will be starting in P3. And Josh Mercurio, Matt McIntyre will round out the top five. Austin LaPlante, Blake Warren. There's Pat McCursky will be starting in eighth. And RJ Bishop with that lap of the century with a 5-minute lap time. And then, yeah, that will be Nick Gunther starting at the back in P10. As it looks like Anthony McCurry just jumped in Team Speak. I don't know if they're going to let him in or not, but
He did not go to the race channel, so I don't think he's racing.
he did not. Okay. Well, I will say, do you have a favorite going into this thing between the two drivers?
I mean, I don't know. It's cookie cutter truck series race. They're really not going to be lifting too much. I don't think we'll have a real idea on who the favorite is until they get to the end of a run. But I think, about a 32 lap run on fuel here. Might be a little less because it's the truck series. So Merkel and Gunther, they both like to drive about the same in my experience. So I'm not sure if either one has a clear advantage over the other. But one thing that might be in favor to Jack will be he's going to start on the pole. He's going to want to lead that first lap, and then he's going to want to try to stay at the front, see if he can lead the most laps, get that extra point. So then it becomes a bit easier to manage that 2-point gap. I'm actually not sure who has tiebreaker.
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm wanting to say that would go to Jack on wins, assuming that it does come down to wins. You have asked, actually, if you want to pose that question while we're still in happy hour here, to Josh. If it comes down to a tiebreaker, I'm willing to bet it's wins, and that would go to the 24. Because I'm wanting to say that he's got like 5 wins on the season. Nick only has 2 or 3. I think 3. So, of course, there's no chance of them tying on wins either.
I've got some sleep token news for you if you're interested, unless you've heard it already.
Ooh, do tell, and we can let everyone else know out there who maybe some metal fans out there watching.
So Sleep Token has a newly launched TikTok that points to a website called showmehowtodanceforever.com. On the website is a word scramble game and eventual sign up to a mailing list should you be able to solve the puzzle. So a little bit of a cryptic teaser from one of our favorite bands. I remember I think I told you a month ago that all the signs were pointing to another album. So perhaps we are getting the first teaser of that.
That sounds like a very Sleep Token thing.
I'm hearing that Jack Merkel, in fact, has the tiebreaker.
Okay, so yep, I'm pretty sure that would go on to wins. So yep, Jack needs to just get to 2 points ahead of Nick Gunther in this race, and he will be the champion on the tiebreaker.
So one of the many ways he can do that, Andrew, if he were to win the race and lead the most laps, even if Nick Gunther finished second and led a lap, that would be 2-point advantage for Jack Merkel, and that would give him the championship. If Jack does not lead the most laps, and say Nick Gunther does, he would need Gunther to finish third or lower.
Mm-hmm. A lot of different scenarios that are going to be in this one.
There's only 10 trucks on the track. So, I mean, even if Dunloprat had shown up, it was going to take a miracle for him to make up 7 on Merkel and 9 on Nick Gunther. So I think knowing Dunn for a long time, he probably looked at that and decided that he would just let these two go at it.
Yeah, usually the
That's
championship race tends to be a little lighter.
I guess. Yeah, a lot of people, if they're not here to just have a good time, or if they don't, they come out to maybe have a chance to win. They don't generally show up if they're not in the championship hunt.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand that. You don't want it to come down to any problems or anything of the sort. So, but yeah, we got 10 drivers here. Many of them been running pretty much all season long, or at least throughout most of the season. Of course, you give the edge to Nick Gunther's pretty much made every race. Pat McCarskey, though, probably second or third start. That's probably what I was leaning toward there. A little reset, a happy hour here to get some stuff squared away, it looks like. But, yeah, as you said, about a 30 to 32, 33-ish lap fuel window. Going to be a matter of how tires will play into that. Because you were saying that's a good bit of fall off, especially for a mile and a half like this. If you're experiencing about a second and a half of fall off toward the end of the run there, that's quite a bit to keep in mind.
Yeah, so that's just my rough guess. I opted not to participate in practice, but looking at the track I, since I have some really good knowledge of knowing what values do what, thanks to all those offline years of experience, the track wear loss, which is the value you adjust to determine the percentage of grip lost at full wear, that is set to 0.41. So that would be 41% grip loss at full wear. Now it is CTS, so they're likely only going to get about halfway, 55 to 60% of the way to that mark, but that would still be about 20 to 25% of grip lost over a run. So what we'll likely see is these guys will be almost foot to the floor at the beginning of the run. If you opt not to be foot to the floor, even if you just crack the throttle a tiny bit going into the corner, if you're at the back of the draft, you can't really do it at the front because you're creating that wake. But if you're at the back of the draft, you can typically just crack the throttle that tiny bit on entry to try to save the right front a teeny bit, and that'll help you out in the long run. And then you can just slowly start to pass people as they might get tighter as the run goes on because they've just been foot to the floor for the first 5 to 10 laps. So that could be a dynamic we see unfold here as the race goes on. Another thing to consider, though, is with the tight quarters this racing produces, it could be easy to just see a yellow after yellow from just tiny little bumps because you're going to just be right on top of each other here for the most part.
Yeah, it's especially with the early going and the nature of just trying to keep within the draft there because with that much fall off, probably the draft won't matter as much a little later. But in the early going here, I think that it's going to play a much bigger factor.
To your cars.
Well, here we go. We are gridding up. I'm gonna get on and off track myself. We'll get you guys some live pictures here. Hey, there we go. Get this pulled up here. I'm going to open up OBS specifically so that I can fix once again the timer being a big stupid. we're going to refresh that. And we will be keeping it to this live shot throughout the race so that that does not happen again. That back up. And that back up. Actually, I'm going to leave that minimized. There we go. And we've got cars rolling here at Las Vegas. Hey, I've been making all kinds of gambling jokes throughout the buildup of this thing. That's because kind of a weird little side note. I discovered an ASMR channel that primarily focuses on like the rules of like 3-card poker and blackjack, and I actually found it both relaxing but also quite entertaining and kind of fascinating. Not saying I'm going gambling anytime soon, but I don't know, if it wasn't real money involved, it sounds like fun.
Yeah, Andrew, we're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the drivers will get in the starting grid order here. Very intricate part of the start of the race is getting in the qualifying order from the group session.
You totally just went full on into that, didn't you?
Hey, you had to mention ASMR.
I am guilty, and I will say it on the stream. I am guilty of using a lot of ASMR videos and a lot of different channels for that to just chill and try to get to sleep because, good lord,
You know who the
there
king
are
of
days I'm an insomniac.
you know who the king of ASMR is?
Oh boy,
DJ Curtis.
DJ Curtis.
DJ does a good ASMR. He's got the voice for it.
I would have to hear him again. I have not talked to that guy since, oh geez, Talladega a couple of years ago.
He's got a voice as smooth as whiskey, I'll tell you what.
And I can tell you what, that guy can paint.
Oh yes.
Man, has he made some amazing
You know what
schemes.
these guys can do though? They can paint the track with the rubber.
Oh, they're going to be painting some rubber down here. And we're going to be seeing it happen here at Las Vegas. Folks, it has been a great season. And after all this that we've been able to bring you guys, it all comes to a conclusion here tonight. Jack Merkel, Cody Lamas leading them for the final time this season. The green flag is out.
Merkel with a great launch. Hartnett is going to clear Lamas as well here off of turn 2. Nick Gunther already starting to make his way forward as he's to the inside of Makarski.
Not surprised there. I know he's going to be working his way forward. He's to the inside of Bishop now in the 92. Going to maybe try to do the same on Blake Warren. He's going to play that a little bit safer there. But boom, bonus points for Jack Merkel. Already the lead shaved down to 1. Just like that. Oh, Matt McIntyre there, P4. Doing battle there with Josh Mercurio. Beautiful Swedish fish scheme that you were talking about there. Also got to mention this about Cody Lamas, though, as he's going to make the move to the inside for second place. But Cody Lamas officially, especially with qualifying second, the qualifying competition champion this season. Hence the pink spoiler, so big congrats there to the 48.
Yeah, Andrew, good for Cody to at least win something, here, as he didn't have the greatest of luck here through the chase. As I actually look at the driver's telemetry here, they are lifting already down to about 160, 165 in the turns, down from about 180 max end speed at the end of the straightaway. I think you'll need draft to pass, whether that's in the corner or on the straightaway, as Hartnett took a peek back to the inside of Lamas, but Lamas shut the door. So far, Merkel just kind of, I think, managing his stuff here. He doesn't have any immediate pressure as Gunther continues to move forward slowly, looking now for 6th place on Austin LaPlante.
You're going to get that move done as LaPlante nearly came down there. That looked
dicey.
like contact.
It's going to let Bishop get by for 7th.
Austin LaPlante, though, at the job of keeping that thing pointed straight. He's had some ups and downs this season himself, but has shown a good amount of speed. Has that 84, so props to him.
And Nick Gunther
Ooh,
Nick Gunther's not really pushing it too hard. I'm looking at his speed in the corner. He's not really pushing it too hard. It looks like maybe he's being able to catch Mercurio here as Mercurio tries to find a way to navigate
woohoo!
McIntyre's. Now, RJ goes all the way into the grass about there in the tri-oval.
Not gonna quite pan out for the 92 there. And they got side by side in front of the 4. A little sketchy there, but it looks like the run's gonna come for the 11. And should be able to make this move stick there. Sorry about the flash blind there. That's I changed the cameras for this track, and I think it worked out everywhere except that one particular camera. It's looking down the front straightaway on TV1, and yeah, that was the one thing that I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. So apologies if that ever happens, but I will certainly try to get out of that as quickly as I can once it happens. And is looking to the inside now. For that 5th place position here. Nick Gunther gonna get clear. And yeah, he is on a charge moving forward. No surprise, of course. A beautiful looking number 4.
Well, you know what they say, Andrew.
What's that?
As you start at the back if you're a fast driver, every position you gain becomes more challenging to earn.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some heavy hitters coming up here now. Whoa, that's a sin there from the 738. But gonna end up pushing up the track there. RJ Bishop gonna get to his inside. Everybody's still pretty much on the same straightaway here after about 9 laps of green flag running here. Checking up front here.
I'll tell you, so far, RJ Bishop's scaring me a little bit. He's been very aggressive here in the early goings, just letting it all hang loose. Doesn't matter to him that we're only 5 minutes in. He's going like there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah. He's just been running a few starts here and there. I'm sure he's just having fun out there.
Oh,
yes. In front of the plant. Pekarsky and Blake Warren are there as well, still in touch. Blake Warren with the 1 win at Zenjoltis, which got him into the chase. Checking back up front here, though. And Mercurio hounded the back of Hartnett here for the 3rd position. Jack Merkel remains relatively unchallenged, though, up at the very front.
I think the battle's going to heat up here now for 3rd as Mercurio and Gunther are right on top of each other as they're on top of Hartnett. Gunther thought about making a move, but, you look out, you peek out low to make that move into the corner. No draft help there for Gunther. Mercurio stays in line with Hartnett, and even though it's only for, about the very end of the tri-oval, that amount of draft is still enough to keep Mercurio clear of the 4, and it prevents Gunther from kind of making a bit of a dive bomb move, as Gunther, while aggressive driver, has a ton of experience, knows not to make those moves this early in the race.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that right now he's just looking in front of him going, yep, just do your thing. I'm going to keep it right here. If an opportunity arises, I'm sure he'll go for it. Until that opportunity arises, I don't see him forcing anything here anytime soon.
Mercurio actually scuffed the wall a teeny tiny bit off of turn 2 that time, so I'm not sure if just a minor miscue or it might be getting a little tight here. We're about 13 laps into this run, so we're closing in on halfway. Starting to see the lap time drop off just a little bit, down to about 3 to 4 tenths now, depending on the driver, as Hartnett makes another move to the inside of Lamas for 2nd, as they are 3 wide behind them. Well, they looked like they were going to be 3 wide.
Boy,
now,
I was watching them there a little bit.
RJ Bishop has fallen all the way to 9th. He looks like he's getting tight. He about hit the wall there off of 4. You see LaPlante down in 10th.
I think LaPlante had some kind of an issue as battles on for P2 here between the 48 and the 83. Knowing Cody, he's not going to give that up very easily. Oof, this is a good little dicey there. Josh Mercurio trying to help out the 83, which in turn will probably help him out because you don't want these guys to stay side by side in front of you for too long. It creates quite the log jam unless you want to go crazy.
Yeah, and if you're Nick Gunther, you're hoping you can get by these guys as quick as you can and start to race Jack Merkel for the lead, because every lap that goes by is a lap you have to make up if you want to get that extra bonus point over your championship competitor. And you can see, even with 3 trucks versus 2, Merkel's given the draft a little bit to Lamas, and Lamas is able to mostly hold even with Hartnett down the back straightaway.
Ooh.
But right there, Hartnett
Oh, just
with a
got it clear. We were on helicopter cam for that one, and you saw just how close it was. How close all these guys are. Holy moly.
Yeah, I was watching from heli myself, and that was pretty tight. Ooh,
Oh.
Cody actually going to get into him almost there off of 2. As now Gunther looks to the inside of Mercurio, but he's got no draft, so you see Mercurio just pulls right ahead. It looks like draft is getting these guys about maybe an extra 5 or so miles an hour down the end of the straightaway. So draft is definitely important here if you want to make a move. But Gunther, with a great run off of turn 4, is going to go down to the apron in the tri-oval. Try to get to the inside of Mercurio here for the corner, and
Nope.
not quite. Can't do it.
No, that was a good run there for Mercurio. Yeah, it's like you're saying, with these CTS physics and the amount of draft that they produce, just any bit that you can sniff from the trucks in front of you is going to give you that edge to try to stay ahead of whoever you're battling with. But it's also keeping this top 5 right on top of each other. Of course, they've been battling pretty hard here for quite a bit. Looks like things have settled down, at least for the time being.
Looks like something might have happened to Pat McCarsky. He's now all the way at the back with Austin LaPlante. As it's a 3-way fight for 6 between Blake Warren, Matt McIntyre, and RJ Bishop. But the main fight is up here at the front in the top 5 now. You saw Nick Gunther get that good run off the turn 4, made the move low, wasn't able to get to the inside of Mercurio into 1 due to the draft. As a driver, you've got to be careful to not get sucked into that aggressiveness of, I have to get by this guy. I want to get one more spot, and I want to get the next spot. I have to get by this guy. As Lamas is going to get tight off of 2. That'll be close. That'll let Mercurio get to his inside. So, I haven't, you get sucked into that trap, and then you just, next thing you know, the right front is burned off 10% more than your right rear, and the truck don't turn anymore, and then you can't get by that next guy. So while Nick Gunther continues to make such moves, he's been smart to not throw it into the corner too hard, and I haven't seen him get tight at all yet. So that tells me that he's doing a great job managing his tires while trying to make moves. Lamas is definitely getting tight now. Lamas, you cannot say the same. That right front is just a wee bit tight, and it's starting to go away from Cody.
Yeah, that thing's a little worn down. You can just tell. He gets a bit of a better run that time.
He got real tucked up, as Hartnett's going to go for the lead here on Merkel.
Ooh, that could be big. And looks like probably going to get it here on entry, I would imagine, and will do so. Merkel may try the crossover. It looks like he's going to do so. There's some skid marks there in the back straightaway.
That was Austin LaPlante. Go take a look, see here what happened while you focus on the action.
And we'll keep it to the live shot here. New leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, winner at Coca-Cola, winner at Charlotte. And now with the lead here, Jack Merkel, of course, in second place. Right now, still 1 point back, as it mathematically is. Of course, with how they run right now, he would have the championship. I think it was another spin. And Jack's going to go for it here once again. Get to the inside of the 83. And man, they are getting very stacked up here. Almost 3 wide. Oh, brother. Josh Mercurio is looking to follow suit, but Merkel has taken the lead back. And now we are jumping up here in the top 4, top 5.
So Austin LaPlante got tight off of turn 2, barely scraped the wall, and that is best Riley Herbst impression from Sunday night's Daytona 500, where he was pretty much dead sideways, but was able to lock up the brakes and get it back straight. He did use the inside wall to help him, but he kept going. And then the very next lap, Blake Warren hits the outside wall off of turn 2, and he'll bounce off of Matt McIntyre and spin down the track. So that is why Blake has come down pit road. So some of these guys are definitely getting tight. And from what we're seeing, the second you even scrape the wall, if you're trying your hardest not to hit it, you are going to get arrow loose and just spin down the banking. So something for these top 5 to keep in mind. We've seen Lamas almost hit that turn 2 wall twice now.
Yeah. Yeah, just knowing kind of what goes into that. When you've got the wheel cranked trying not to hit the wall and then you graze it, it unloads that right
Oh,
front, it
yes.
seems. And then that just
Yeah,
puts
you
all the
just
weight
go.
like even again. And then all that wheel that you got cranked into it is just going to go, it's got to go somewhere, all that energy. And
Yeah,
it's
you
going to go
put it
pretty much kick
perfect.
in the rear.
Yeah, you put it perfect. You just kick that all that weight down, and you just go straight down the track.
Boy, I'm kind of regretting changing the camera with that stinking blinding light on TV1. That was a Well, not much of a good idea that was, but that's okay. We're rolling with it. Someone who's rolling is this for. I think you were right on with something here. He was saving his stuff. He was keeping that right front under him, and now it's showing, and he is on a mission. Got up to third, now coming to second. I think he'll probably get Josh Mercurio here, if not this corner, then definitely the next one.
And we're approaching the end of this first fuel run, about 14 minutes into the race here.
We got
So it's
27 laps in.
gonna be, I think, a two-stopper. It might be a borderline three-stopper if they keep it green.
As Nick
But
had to go defensive.
this is where Nick's gonna want to see if he can get in front of Merkel before this run is over. That might show him if he's got a little better tire saving method here than Jack, because remember, Jack's been leading this entire run. He has not been going as deep into the turns, mile per hour wise. So if Gunther has better tire than him, and he's been in draft the whole time, then that's advantage Nick Gunther. Because even if Jack has led these first almost 30 laps, Nick could turn around and lead the next majority of the second run.
Absolutely, and I think it'll also all depend on when they pit.
We've
Because at this
lost
point in the
Hartnett.
run, oh yeah, Hartnett, oh yeah, he's gone.
Oh yeah, he's on pit road. Manuel has come
Okay,
down early.
early
Not
pit
sure.
stop call.
I'm not. I don't think an undercut will do much here. The fall off is only a second, so I was a little on the over guesstimate side. Not even a second and a half, so it's only a second really here. Draft is
Yeah,
so dependent, and undercut's not really going to get you much unless someone undercuts with you, and then you can draft together for those handful of laps that nobody else has pit yet.
and I think in the long run, I mean, you'll definitely gain that track position in the short term, but these guys will run you right back down, and it's not going to take much as they've caught the 84.
So
And yeah, Nick's looking quick.
Emmanuel actually got a little lucky. He came out right behind Makarsky and Warren.
Ooh, look at
As
this.
Jack Merkel is coming in this time by.
So that was the call there. Nick Gunther is going to stay out, it appears. And Jack is the only one from this lead draft who is coming in. Ooh, get her down there.
And the reason for that is because Jack led all those laps. He was in clean air the longest out of anybody, so he burned up that extra lap of fuel. We're going to see Nick Gunther come in this time by, as well as Cody Lamas. I would guess that Josh Mercurio will likely come in as well. Not sure if he will post here since he is last of this line.
Find out here. It looks like he's nope. He's gonna keep it out there.
Gonna
Trying to
go
go
one
that extra
more.
lap. Watch it, Nick.
Now
Where you put the cones.
it is the pit line for pit speed, so it's not the cone line. It's where the stalls begin for pit speed. I'm not sure if those cones are like a strict commitment line or not. This is an old Saferberry project track. I feel like they were mostly for show back then, but I could be mistaken. As a randomly looking at RJ Bishop, he's actually clutching right now, trying to extend it a lap as Mercurio will come in.
Gonna keep an eye on Nick here just to make sure he does not get that 30-second penalty. 4 tires going on to that truck, and he pulls right out, so no issue there. Cody Lamas, though, is going to, well, temporarily jump him, but then Nick Gunther up to speed there first.
So the undercut panned out for Hartnett. He actually jumps in front of Jack Merkel with Blake Warren in the middle of him. But now as we see Gunther and Lamas come off pit road, they are... Yep, Cody will be behind Jack, and Jack is going to show... Actually, he might not get in front of Nick.
No, wow, I'm actually surprised that he wasn't able to get it. And then, if anything, Nick is now going to gain that spot. So that's going to be huge once everything cycles through. And he will take the. Well, actually, no, he won't take the race lead because it's going to be Hartnett, at least for the time being. Merkel and Cody Lamas a little close together there, but all's looking fine there.
That overcut did not pan out for Mercurio unless this is a gamble that the race will keep going green and he might be able to make this on one more pit stop based on the timer, because he is now without draft. He lost too much time. He's without draft. This is now a 4-man race. Now, I will say it might only be a lap and the fall off might only be a second at max, but this is the first time Jack has truly been in draft at the beginning of the run. He was only passed by Emmanuel there, I think, for a lap or two in that first run. But now we'll really see what Jack can do, whether it's to try to bide his time here, save the right front a little bit behind Nick, and then get Nick later in the run, or if he's going to want to just go up there to Nick and push him by Emmanuel and then try to get by Nick and continue leading the laps he needs to. Because even if Jack finishes first and Gunther finishes second, as long as Jack leads the most laps, Jack is your champion.
Absolutely. And right now, that most laps led, at least as it holds, is the 24. The 83, though, being the only other leader thus far. So I'm taking under green during that first run, now holding it with the undercut.
And don't forget Mercurio, who stayed out and led a lap.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. So, yeah, he's at least got something for him there. Mercurio, he's been decent, but yeah, he's going to need a bit of a miracle here if he's going to want that W. He's about half a second slower per lap than these guys up here, as you were saying, with that draft plane as much of a factor as it does. Right now, 40 minutes to go. So that is a third of the way through this thing. And yep, top 4 all under a blanket now with a chance here at the race win. At least as it stands, 38 laps in. And clicking them off about 31 seconds per lap.
Yeah, and looking at the timer and where this cycle completed, I'm not even sure you can make it on one more stop. I think everyone's going to have to pit with around 5 or so minutes left.
Yeah, I think even Josh is going to be really, really stretching it if he's going to try that. These guys almost definitely not going to make it. Josh would be the only one I think that could.
Oh, Blake Warren's looped it off of turn 4.
That would not be good. But, yeah, there's a spinner there. If he can collect it, ooh, that's a little dangerous.
Could be able to get it back going here.
Yeah, he's got some room.
Oh, he's going to turn it right down pit road. I hope that didn't disqualify him. That was a little backwards.
Hopefully not.
Looks like he's okay.
Hartnett remains in the lead as they drive through the smoke.
It's a second spin for Blake. Unfortunate night. He'll fall another lap down here. So far, only him and LaPlante are laps down. These leaders are going to be approaching Pat McCarskey and Matt McIntyre soon. They're tracking about a few tenths faster a lap. So give it another probably 20 laps and they'll catch those two.
As Nick's going for it here for the race lead. Looking for that bonus point to, at least as it stands, erase that point gap that Jack had gained. And now it is official that they are back to 2 points separating them, as now they have each led a lap. Of course, Josh still with the most lead. Ooh, he's slide jobbing him there. And throwing the defensive line.
I understand the importance of needing to lead for Nick Gunther here, trying to catch up to Jack's laps led total, but very aggressive block here with still over half the race to go. And, Andrew, he did gain 1 point back, but the gap is still technically 1 point as far as laps led goes because Merkel does have that extra point at the current moment.
If that holds, yep, you're absolutely right. So, as they run, give the championship to the 4, but only as they run. Of course, yeah, we still got more than halfway to go here. But yeah, how about this? Top 2 in the championship, first and second. Cody Lamas and Emmanuel Hartnett, though, still up there. Hartnett, though, I think with this point, with how old his tires are, is going to start to probably struggle to hold on to this draft. But we'll see.
Blake Warren has opted to call it a night, so he'll be our first retiree. That leaves it down to 9 drivers. Now, you just saw the block Nick Gunther made down the backstretch there on Emmanuel Hartnett, as Hartnett now falls to 4th. Merkel behind in 2nd. Now, Merkel was right there in 3rd. He saw the block Nick made. So, as the 24, you know you're 2 points down. How aggressive do you get trying to get by Nick Gunther? Because you know he's going to put a block on you. He wants to keep the lead here. He wants to catch up to you on the laps led total. Do you force the issue here? So with 30 minutes to go, you know, you're either going to junk Nick or you're also going to junk Nick and yourself. As Nick thought about it there for a split second, but Merkel was there.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
he definitely thought of it.
Only 3 trucks up here now, as Emmanuel looks like he might be getting tight.
Ooh, Nick's going to try again and block
Now
there
Jack.
from Jack. I think
Jack
your
with the
question may
block.
have been answered.
Well, it looks like these guys are going to be content with either blocking each other to lead the most laps and win the race in the championship, or they're going to wreck themselves doing it. So at least they're on the same page.
Well, hey, they are going for it here and gaining what points they can. But with Jack Merkel back out front, that is not what Nick wants to see. Because, yeah, now it is back down to 1. And then when you go back on the fact that, oh, yes, Nick really backs up that
right
corner,
now,
maybe a little too much.
Right now, they're tied in the points, with Merkel having the most laps led. And that is championship lead, 24, Jack Merkel.
On the tiebreaker, absolutely. 24 would get the breaker.
I don't have a total, but just off of the feel of how many minutes Jack Merkel has been in the lead, I feel like it'll be a little easy to tell here when that laps led gets clinched. I feel like if Jack continues to lead through the end of this run, and even if it's a majority of the next run, I feel like that'll lock it up. I don't think there will be enough time for Nick to get that. So Nick is going to want to get to the lead and win this thing, because that is the long-term goal here. You know, you don't need to lead the most laps if you're Nick, unless you think Cody or Emmanuel could jump you to finish 2nd. So if I'm Nick, you know, maybe I just bide my time here and race for the win and not depend on those laps led points. As now Cody's going to make a move on him, and he wasn't really to his inside there. So a good taking the lane there by Nick. Like we might have had another spin. I thought I saw some more smoke, but nothing happened. Oh, we've actually we've lost RJ Bishop.
So yeah, down to 8 trucks on the track. So yeah, something is going awry for somebody. And
RJ
Bishop.
RJ just pulled down and retired because he was not having any fun anymore by himself there.
As someone who cannot stand driving a tight race car, I feel for him. I will not deny that. Let's see, 50 laps complete, 33 minutes remaining here at Las Vegas. They'll give the championship advantage to the 24 as they run, with most laps led getting closer and closer to being, well and truly his. Nick Gunther, though, still breathing down his neck. Probably just trying to bide his time. Cody Lamas, though, still looking very, very competitive. And credit to Hartnett. Despite those older tires, he is still keeping in touch with these guys in front of him. As long as he can continue to do that, I certainly wouldn't count him out of this thing as of yet. Of course, he's going to be on a slightly altered strategy. We'll see how that will play into things. Josh Mercurio coming off of turn 2 right now, running on his own. And then you've got I believe 6th place right now is Pat McCarskey. That's a good run there, and he's drafting with the 7:38. And then Austin LaPlante, rather, a lap down, running by himself as well.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about CTS physics is the undercut at a track like this is not in your benefit. You do not want to pit extra laps early. It just doesn't work. Once you get caught by the drivers who stayed out for those normal 2-3 more laps, if the run continues the same as the previous run did, you're at a severe disadvantage. And you can just see Emmanuel's doing everything he can to stay in the wake of Cody Lamas, but at some point here, he's just going to lose it, and he'll be in no man's land like Mercurio.
He's trying, but is struggling to hold on to it. But let's see, but these guys haven't pitted around lap 30 from what we just saw. I think we're probably about another 5-6 laps away from seeing them do it again. 30 minutes, 31 and a half to go here. And still, everything remains pretty much unchanged up here at the front. But still, all three of these guys looking very, very strong. But man, that 24 is looking good to get that bonus point. We're pretty much locked up here very early, relatively speaking, in the going. And, oh, Nick just disappeared.
Oh, that's not good.
No. And he's not reappeared.
I'm going to assume that's a game crash.
No way.
Yeah,
oh
he is out. He's out of the server now.
He has fallen out. Oh, man. The leader coming into this.
Yep, that was a game crash 100% because he never fell out of TeamSpeak. That is really unfortunate. He'll come back out onto the track now, but he is going to be
at least a lap down.
Two laps down. Potentially 3 here.
Because I don't think they're going to give it back to him under green.
I'm not sure how the rule works here. I'm not sure if you can get all but one back under green or if you have to wait. But that leaves it just Jack and Cody now at the front as Emmanuel, I think, pit again.
He has, yep. He is on pit road, and out he comes.
I'm actually kind of curious. I'm not sure if that's a short pit again or if Emmanuel is just somehow burning more fuel because he pit the same number of laps in now that he did the first time. He's pitting 28 and 28. So I wonder if he is somehow burning more gas than everyone else. I'm not sure how he would be doing that much more fuel burning. Like, I don't really understand how you burn 2-3 more laps than the rest of the competition, but something...
Especially when you're in the draft.
Something is wrong with his fuel mileage. And yeah, Gunther will be 3 laps down here now in 8. So now the lap sled is definitely sealed here for Merkel. And, this is going to be a very unfortunate way for the championship to end, in my opinion, because you never want to see it come down to either a random engine failure or some kind of technological issue such as a game crash or an internet failure. And it looks like he is going to be added back to... I think 1 lap down. I see him added back to 2 laps down. Now we'll see if they give him another one.
Yeah, I think I may remember that rule that you'll be given all but 1. I believe, at least under green.
It is a pretty standard rule across most NR leagues to give all but 1 back. Some leagues do 2. And it typically can depend on the length of the racetrack. Let's see here. They hit the line again. They gave Nick that extra lap or not.
Ooh. I just noticed one little thing just to throw some extra plot into this.
Looks like it's only going to be 2.
He is okay. And the 11 is clutching, by the way.
Yeah, well, so I figured, he's also on an island now in no man's land, so he might as he doesn't have draft now. That's the problem, Andrew. So now he has to clutch to make up what he would have saved with off throttle time.
Yeah.
Because Mercurio is running Well, right now he's running 32.3s clutching, and Jack and Cody are running 31.7s in the draft, and they're likely both burning the same amount of gas right now because of the extra off throttle time for Cody and Jack just running that extra speed into the corner. Mercurio is only doing about 170, I think, into the corner. Merkel and Cody are doing almost 177. So that extra little off throttle time at each end of the track is helping Jack and Cody, while it is, Mercurio's got to clutch it. But we should be seeing these guys pit again as, yep, Jack Merkel is going to be coming in this time by
On
for
high
his
is
second
Cody,
pit
so
stop.
Cody will stay out, it appears, and indeed that is the case.
So Jack will absolutely need to pit one more time. Might see him maybe do right sides only. I'm not sure if I would want to do that in the position I'm in. Might just take 4 at this point.
I was gonna say, yeah, with the situation with the 4, who's gonna be just praying for a yellow, you know that he's probably gonna be playing it safe at this point. He doesn't need that much. Nick right now,
Oh, they actually gave him back another lap, so Nick's down to 1 lap down.
he is down to 1. Okay.
But so now Nick came back in. Now remember, when you fall out and you come back in, you're
Everything kind of resets, I think.
yeah, so technically he pits on lap 56 about 2 laps earlier than Emmanuel, and then he gets 2 freebie laps due to, the fallout, the way the rule works. So he can go to probably about lap 89 to 90, and then he is going to have to pit. So that'll be in another 20 laps or so.
And 25
So that's
minutes to
about
go.
That's about 10 to 13 minutes away, so there will be about 10 minutes left, and we'll see Nick Gunther come down pit road. Probably closer to 12 to 13 minutes left, since he is on his own right now and he's burning that extra gas. So, yeah, Nick has like the
Whoa,
freshest
Cody's
tires.
spinning!
Oh,
Ooh, man, that's gonna be a tough break for one of the fastest guys out there. And
and
just looped it on his own, never even
yep.
came above the white line.
No, he clipped the apron.
Ugh.
You can see the little lurch. He clipped the apron just a tiny bit, and that's all it takes when you're right at the exit of the corner on the apron. Is that little blip, and it can just go out from under you. So that is gonna leave this lead in Jack Merkel's hand now. But now Jack has no one to draft with.
Nick Gunther is shown as the leader. Of course, now having not pit yet, he's kind of got that advantage. But you were saying Jack has no one to draft with. Well, he's right behind the 83. And yeah, just ran quite a bit faster than him there. So Jack Merkel, his racing championship to lose at this point in time. 67 laps complete, 24 minutes. And there's Josh Mercurio coming out. Actually, much closer to those guys than I thought, unless that's them lapping him.
He is a lap down now.
I was gonna say that had to have been lapping him, but 24 minutes to go, and Josh Mercurio coming out. I do not foresee him making that on that stop. I think that, yeah, pretty much everybody's gonna be in the same boat, and will need to pit one final time before this thing is done.
Well, so now Merkel and Hartnett need to draft to catch up to Nick. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't think that extra lap should have been given to Nick. Because when he came out on track, he was right behind the leaders 2 laps down. I don't think I would have put him back 1 down. I'm not sure. This is weird because I feel like even though he was put the 1 lap down, I'm very surprised that he ended up being 10 seconds ahead of Jack after pit stops. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have lost that much time on pit road, but I guess you do.
Yeah, this is weird.
Well, I guess it is a 40-second time loss, technically. 15
Yeah,
seconds for the
45.
pit stop, 25 going in and out. So, yeah, it is about a 40-second loss. But
45 pit speed is pretty slow.
the
Yeah, this is strange.
I just have I'm obviously I'm in the booth, so it's my best to be neutral here, but I am a little concerned here.
Yeah, might that have
Because this might have worked in Nick's favor with the way the rule is. Now
I've seen that once or twice.
that is if this pans out, and that is why usually, depending on how much time is lost on a pit stop, if someone falls out, you have to only give back 2 down, because it also depends where they come back out on track.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
If Nick had come out, which, then that becomes a situational argument, and then that's a whole can of worms too. So, I mean, if the standard rule is back to 1 down, then that was the proper way to do it, and then then this just becomes even more controversial. But if Nick had come out onto the racetrack and he was halfway behind Jack Merkel, then we're not talking about this, because Jack and Emmanuel would have come out of pit road and they would have been right behind him and they would have just gone by him. But now they have half a track of time to make up.
Absolutely.
Well, a third a track of time. They came out 10 seconds back, but they're doing that. I mean, Jack's gotta think smart here, though. You cannot pull away too far from Emmanuel and Mercurio. They're gonna draft back up to you anyway, but save some of your tires a little bit here on entry and just make sure you're getting all you can get, because now look at them. Emmanuel and Josh are racing for nothing, and they're going up the track. They're not giving Jack all the drafts he could be getting here. I mean, they're likely going to catch Nick here no matter what.
Yeah. And
actually, Nick might pit before then, but even if Nick comes out of pit road after his stop with 12 minutes left and then he gets drafted, then if you're Merkel, you gotta hope you come out of pit road with 5 minutes left with draft, because that's, I think, where Jack is going to pit, is around 5 to 7 minutes left. So it's going to be about 5 minutes after Nick has to come in.
I mean, I think that, as they run, and we're all reasonably certain that Jack has the most laps led, even though Nick's leading right now. I don't think that he's going to lead enough to get that. So then that would still be championship 24.
Right now, if they finish first and second, it's Nick Gunther. Because Nick Gunther came in 2 ahead. So Nick Gunther...
I totally just got it backwards. My bad.
Nick... It's easy to, when you add lap bonuses in, it gets so easy to get confused. I'm glad leagues still use them, but I wish we didn't have lap lead bonuses, because it just makes it so much harder to keep track of when you're broadcasting.
If you're for broadcasting.
But so Nick is getting 1 more point per position right now than Jack. Jack might be getting 1 more point on the laps led, but that makes it a 1 point gap. Nick advantage. I don't know what TC means. Do you know what TC means? This is the second time I'm seeing it in chat.
TC.
Yeah, I saw Matt McIntyre post it earlier, and now I saw Emmanuel Hartnett post it. I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you got me on that one. We're down 18 and a half minutes to go here in the entire season. Oh, Hartnett, way up, way up.
Unless that means team communications, I don't know.
Let
me see.
Yeah.
Minutes left. Time clock.
Okay. So they're doing a time check. I see.
Time check. Yep. Time check. Okay. I get it now. Yep.
Yeah, Merkel is catching, but still, it's 6.7 seconds.
So they are catching 0.3 a lap.
Mm-hmm.
Nick is going to pit in 10 laps. So by the time Nick has to pit, they're going to have it down to about 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Now, if you're Jack Merkel, Nick Gunther's definitely taking 4 here. He's going to need to put on all the fuel he can, so he's going to take 4 here. If you're Jack, what you could do, which I don't know if I would do this because you're probably going to catch him anyway, but if you take 2 tires on your last pit stop, because I believe he only needs a can to make it 6 minutes, you will gain 7 seconds, and then you'll be 3 seconds ahead. But now the problem is, if Hartnett and Mercurio don't do that with you, and they fall back to Gunther, and Gunther gets their draft, you're a sit and duck.
Yeah.
So
boy, I've seen a race won in this fashion already. When the rule,
I've got bad news.
The desert.
Nick Gunther's catching Cody Lamison's going to start getting draft.
Oh yeah, I see that.
He's not quite there yet, but he's starting to get a sniff.
31.7. This time by for Jack.
I'd say next lap time, you're going to see it. You know what's not helping Jack Merkel is Mercurio and Emmanuel keep racing it out for nothing. They're racing for nothing, man.
The tire difference between those two is immense. Josh pitted the latest. Hartnett pitted the earliest.
Well, now
I think Josh was just waiting to get by him.
Yeah, Mercurio's by him now, so now him and Jack might be able to draft a little bit more, but now Gunther's going to get draft off of Cody, and
man,
this is going to stabilize the gap a little bit. This is going to be quite the controversy. I mean, it is technically a pit stop when you fall out of the game, but then when you get handed
laps back,
but that's you get the laps back, but it's still not.
There's so
you would never gain 10 seconds on CTS physics pitting 6 laps early here. You just wouldn't gain 10 seconds.
And yeah, he's got the draft now. So, although yeah, Josh is catching 24, so there is that gap stabilized that lap. And yeah, we are pretty soon going to see. Oh goodness, we're pretty soon going to see the 4 pitting here.
Yeah, next 5 laps for sure.
I've seen it before that the rule was designated all but one back, and actually, right as I say that, he's coming in. Whoa! Hold on!
Trying to get everything he can here, and, for good reason. He knows, he might actually go a lap down, come to think of it, considering what the gap was.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch here, actually. So, let's see. You lose 11 seconds on pit entry. So then it's, the pit road's pretty symmetrical in terms of length. So it's another 11 seconds on exit. Add the 15. So yeah, that's a 37-second. It's about a 45-second motion.
Mm-hmm.
Between entering pit road and getting off of pit road. It's about a 45-second motion. We'll get the exact number here after Nick comes off. But Nick will take 4 tires and fuel and get away.
And off he goes.
Now Jack drove by him and, in fact, did put him back 1 lap down. Okay, so now you've got Mercurio, you've got draft. You need to keep chugging.
Mm-hmm. He's got back down to 31.5s.
Gunther is actually going to come out of pit road here right in front of LaPlante and Makarski. Their pace is too slow, though, for Nick to lag back to get draft. Hartnett asking for another time check. Let's see here now, as Gunther comes around to the line, I'll take a look at his lap time. So the exit lap time is 36 seconds. So yeah, it's a 47-second process. So, okay, back to 1 down is fair. Considering how long it takes, back to 1 down is fair because you're losing a lap and a half when you pit.
Mm-hmm.
What Gunther got lucky with is when he came back into the server, he was only probably 3 seconds behind Merkel. So he got gifted about 7 seconds or so.
Isn't it funny just how that works?
That's just the way it works. So case closed if you're watching this back. I'm not taking sides. It's just, that's the conundrum.
And Jack Merkel, I think, is going to respond and pit early here.
I don't know if I would have done that.
Well, we'll see here. Got 12 minutes. So you're going to have to run about 25 laps-ish. because he got the additional lap. I'm sure he's going to go 4 tires. I'm sure he's thinking that his best bet right now is just get the gap between him and the 4 as small as possible, and then just try to run him down.
Cody
That's got
Lamas
to be
is
what he's
actually going to
thinking.
come in.
Cody is in. Here comes the 4. Across the line. Jack coming off of pit lane. There goes the 4 just past him.
The gap is probably going to be about what it was. I'd say maybe about 5 seconds or so.
5 or 6, 7, maybe 7 at max. Because there's going to be a slight undercut for Nick. Yeah.
Oh, LaPlante gets in the wall, and he's almost around behind Merkel.
Boy, that's keeping that thing straight. 11 minutes, 45 seconds to go. What is the gap between the two?
So now Cody's going to come out of pit road. And if Cody doesn't bin it this time, he should be right there with Merkel. The gap is 5.5 from Nick to Merkel.
I think that's doable.
The 10 minutes left, it's doable, but Merkel needs to draft with Cody.
Yeah, he's going to need something, but Nick doesn't have anyone either.
You got to get Cody. You don't have anybody. You're not going to catch him.
Let's see.
Gunther
Nick
is catching Mercurio, too.
31-4. My goodness, did Nick Gunther just get the luckiest break of all time here?
If you're Jack Merkel, you have to lag back to Cody. You cannot just push. You have to lag back to Cody. There's no other way. And it looks like he's doing that, so he might be listening to me.
Yeah,
you're going to give up some time here, but you're not going to have a chance to catch Nick Gunther either if you just keep going.
Yeah. Josh Mercurio, I think, is still trying for the 1 stop. I would be shocked if that happens. Oh my gosh, he's going so slowly.
Once Cody catches you, Marco's only giving up a second there. Cody should have draft about now.
Oh, this will help. Oh, Nick just had to check up big time for the 11.
Yeah, Cody's kind of there.
Ooh,
Marco's going to wait a little bit more. He's going to try to give him a little bit more.
Boy, when's the limit, though, you know?
He should have him now. They should be close enough now. Now, Merkel had to give up about 3 seconds there, but, you know, I feel like that was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction.
It's tough.
We will know when the race is over, because you never know. We could get a yellow here before this thing ends.
Yeah.
But in the situation, if it were me, and you know, it's easy when you're not behind the wheel to say this, but I would have just ran my gas out and took 2. Or I would have ran my gas out and took 4, because, you know, at that point, you're still on the track. You still got draft. Nick Gunther didn't have anything. He didn't have any draft. Someone just spun off of turn 4 again.
Ooh, yeah, they did. I think that was McIntyre. I think that Nick Gunther may have gotten the biggest break of all time.
Nope, it was Makarski.
It was Makarski. And I don't see him out there. I think he... Oh, nope, coming down pit road.
Hartnett's going to go by Lamas.
I think Cody took 2. Or something. Because, yeah, he's been really struggling.
Cody did fall a lap down, though. I'm not quite sure what he did. He might have taken 2.
I know he spun earlier.
They're not catching Nick Gunther, though.
What a topsy-turvy race that this has turned into. Nick Gunther went from it being really close with those 2 to toast. But at the point that he fell out, he was good to make it on the 1 more stop. And now, thanks to the standard rule of getting your 1 lap back, he has now had to make 1 less pit stop than everybody else.
Well, no, technically he made it. No, he made the pit stop when he fell out.
Well, that's true.
So, you know, technically he still made the pit stop. He just made it when he didn't want to, but he got 7 seconds because of it.
Yeah.
Because of where he reemerged onto the track.
Isn't it funny just how that works sometimes?
And, you know, in my opinion, the 24 team kind of just shot themselves in the foot with the strategy call they made. If this was Cup physics, sure. But if it was Cup physics, the gap would have been way different to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
McCarski's calling it a night. He's out.
There's so many.
Was 7.
Was Akira, I think, just got the wall. So many different scenarios that you can just think out there and try to be like, well, what would have been the right move? I mean, I understand why Jack did it. I'm with you that I probably would have tried for the alternate, which is what you're saying. But at the same time, I totally feel what he was going for. And then just realized, oh, I've got nothing. We're going to be even on pace. I need draft. And now he's only gaining about half a second.
Oh, so it might not be out of realm yet. If he can continue to gain what he's gaining.
He's 6.8.
Jack needs to gain half a second a lap. Needs to gain half a second a lap to have a shot at this.
He's got Hartnett with him. Cody's not far behind. He's running 31.0.
Oh, got half a second that lap.
Got the half a second. 6.3. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
And if you're Emmanuel Hartnett, you're thinking, I could win this race if me and Jack catch him, because I'm right here too. And if you're Emmanuel, if you're Jack, it's not a big deal if Emmanuel wins the race. You just got to finish ahead of Nick at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If
I'm pretty sure Jack has the laps led locked up. There's 4/10. That's good, but that's not enough. You know, you got what? How much time we got left?
5 minutes 40.
Okay, so 5 minutes 40. That's going to be 9 laps. So you need half a second. You can't have it any other way.
You need that half a second. He's going to maybe sniff a little something off of Matt McIntyre here shortly. 100 laps complete. 31.17.
Another 4/10.
About 4/10 there.
The good news is Nick has nobody he's going to catch here. So Nick is not going to get any draft. That's the good news for Merkel, but when he gets to Matt McIntyre here, he's got to sail off and try not to lose any time on entry or exit, whatever that may be. He's going to want to go by him right now.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go by Matt right now, and you got to not lose any of your entry access. He might not even be able to do that. He is not quite close enough.
Matt's going to stay high and will do so. So that'll be an easy pass.
Now it's 5 seconds. He got another. He did get half a second that time by, but it's going to be really close, and I just... Man, if I keep saying the same thing, I sound like a broken record.
Well, it's really that's the situation that's unfolding. It's really all there is to it. Although now he's going to struggle because Hartnett had to check up a little there. Gap that time. Another 4/10. Down to 4.6. With 4 minutes. I don't see it. But you never know. Because Nick's tires are going to be definitely older, but I think Jack's probably wishing that he had some newer tires. But then again, he would have lost out anyway because of the undercut, and that was only 2.
I don't think Nick has really been pushing his stuff either. He hasn't had a reason to. Jack only got 2/10 that time.
But now Hartnett's getting closer to him. I
told you it should have been
topsy-turvy deal for
should have waited. Should have waited and done 2, and that's the last time I'm gonna say it.
Hey, hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? You gamble, you play it safe. It's Vegas, and sometimes your strategy's gonna pay off, and sometimes it's gonna bite you. And in this case, I think it may have bit Jack Merkel. I think that Nick Gunther, on the other hand, hit the jackpot after going bust. Can you believe that?
I wouldn't really call it a jackpot, but it's some kind of pot.
He's going to get the plot at this rate. 3.8 seconds, 2 minutes 30 seconds.
It's about 5 more laps, so 7,
Yeah,
8,
he's
9,
going to need a
10,
lot.
11. I think lap 112 might be our white.
Man. But Nick Gunther, though, I mean, I will say this. As much of a dominating performance as Jack Merkel has put on in the races that he has been in, he did miss a heavy chunk of races. Nick Gunther has been out here every race. I don't think he missed a single one. So
Yeah, you definitely can't say it's not. Nick is not undeserving. He's
no,
definitely deserving.
100%.
But in terms of the way the race was and the way this chase has gone, Jack is just as deserving. You can toss the regular season out, in my opinion. Once you have a playoff system, the playoffs is all that matters. The regular season helps set you up for that, but the playoffs is all that matters. And I feel like ultimately it comes down to the strategy call made tonight by this 24 team. But if you're Jack, you can also go back and point at a race through this playoffs where you lost 1 point or you lost 2 points, and it could have been in your favor.
And that's just racing. And I'm sure and you and I haven't done it as long as we have. We know that full well that you just think like, man, if only I'd done this, if only I'd done that, if only this had gone my way and that didn't happen, and then it would be a totally different story. And with 1 minute now on the clock, on the season, and again, you got two of the most deserving guys, I think, throughout the season that are going to be juking it out here and ended up with the title shot. Jack is pitting. I wonder if that's almost more
like quitting.
More of a defeat.
It's quitting is what it is.
Wow. So it's 20 seconds now. We're coming to 2 laps to go here. And Nick Gunther from a little ways back to then falling out, and the fallout worked in his favor.
No fuel. Jack says he's out of gas.
He did run out.
So yeah, the fuel number was
he
funky.
Didn't take. I bet he didn't take
Jack.
enough.
He maybe it only gave him a can and a half. You might be right. Sorry, Jack.
Wow.
I had to open my big fat mouth.
Well, we are at the white flag on the season. It's been great to follow this all season long, but Nick Gunther now has it locked.
That's what happens when I open my big fat mouth thinking I knew something.
I was right there with you. I was thinking the same thing. Cody Lamas has gotten by Emmanuel Hartnett. Hartnett's really struggling.
It only gave him 1 can, so maybe he thought he only needed a can, but maybe he needed a can and a half.
Maybe opted for the 2 tires. You never know.
I think he took 4. He definitely took 4.
Well, he did take 4, but speaking of 4, this championship and the race win goes to number 4. The Bobby Hamilton Tribute Tour emerges with a championship. And Nick Gunther,
oh, no burnout.
Not even going to do a burnout. I don't think that that's how he wanted to do it. Clean and green for 114 laps.
I mean, that's a pretty damn good race.
Yeah, it was pretty clean. I mean, we
had a few self spins, and there was 1 contact spin, but it did not result in any cautions.
No.
Man.
Yeah,
so
you hate to see it fall that way, but I mean,
not only did Merkel take 4 tires and he pit early, he didn't take enough fuel when he did pit early. So maybe, and I'm sure if Jack wants to come up here and answer in an interview, he did get runner up in the points. Maybe he was going to take 2 and pit late and just take a can, and then decided to pit early but forgot to check his gas. I don't know. it's a mistake you can make. You forget to put 4 back on or put it down to 2, or you forgot to readjust the gas.
I've done that more than once. And I mean, all in all, though, he got put into a
Oh,
weird
well,
spot.
apparently, Nick is telling us in the chat that Josh is going to review this.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you can review that because, well,
It's just
Jack ran out
unfortunate
of
timing.
gas. If Jack didn't run out of gas, I feel like there's more of a review there. But, Jack runs out of gas and then he had the pit. And, I mean, even if Nick lost a lap and he
User joined your
doesn't get the
channel.
win, I'm not sure if that would give Jack the championship.
Your guess is as good as mine. We'll stay tuned here for a little while.
I know I'm here early, but
and we'll see. No,
I
no,
just
you're good.
I just wanted to point the 2 cents out like during that whole process there. I don't know why the quality spiked all the way up through the roof and it just teleported me out.
Oh, graphics card driver. That's a graphics card driver problem.
I guess I need to update in my Nvidia graphics then.
Yep. That's a driver problem. I can say from experience that I've had that happen before. And that actually can happen with almost any game. If you do not update your driver, sometimes it'll just spike your quality up and kick you out.
Yeah, I never knew that would actually happen like that before. I mean, I was still fine connected wise in TeamSpeak.
Yeah, it's only game related.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I don't know what to say about that. I was really hoping just to have a title fight between just myself and Jack. I like I said, I don't know. It's not exactly a championship that I think he deserved to lose. I obviously think this is not exactly like the title I think I most deserve. I don't know. It's this whole
Also,
tomfoolery is just such a gray area.
even Nick, even if you were had 1 lap taken away, you would still finish ahead of Jack. So
Right, but he would have the
believe
most
it's
laps
your
led at that point, I think, because he would still be leading.
Yeah,
It.
but
If they were to score me a lap away,
you would still be ahead of him because you would have completed lap one. You would have completed lap 112 first still, as Jack completed lap 112 behind you. Emmanuel would have won.
Yeah, I mean,
you would have
Emmanuel probably
been
should have won the race. I tell you, if I'm gonna be like
yes.
straight up 100% honest with you, I this is just one of those like unfortunate timings of when that happened because that actually happened in my favor. I guess that's why they call me the lucky Mimikyu. I guess where the fall just gave me like a full set of fuel and tires during the pit cycle. I'm like, oh well, I guess that's a silver lining there. But I just happened to saw I was still 2 laps down, looking at the F2. So I told Josh like, hey, I'm still 2 laps down. You got to get me another lap back. I don't know. That's the thing. That's just from what I saw. I didn't click on the F2 until after I drove on the backstretch, like about a lap or 2 afterwards. I'm trying to win a championship fair and square. I'm not trying to win off of a BS or tomfoolery. I'm not like that. And I just feel bad that that whole thing sort of happened. I was honestly praying for a caution, to tell you the truth. I was hoping for a caution to come out so we could actually just settle this like men.
Just juke it out.
Literally, yeah. Like I'll even let him have the spot back and everything because I feel like I didn't deserve to have that spot back. I mean, I don't know. It's just a dumb timing. If this was like not during the pit cycle, it probably would have ended up a little bit differently. Jack would have probably won the championship, and kudos to him, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a way to decide a title, unfortunately, because of what just happened there. Yeah, I feel like this is a title that I don't deserve to win, but it's also a title that I feel like I just don't deserve to lose because of what happened, like the reasoning why it happened. But I feel like it's like Jack just did not deserve to lose a championship like that either, though. I'm just speaking from experience. Just he doesn't deserve to lose a championship like that. He's a great guy. He's a pain in the ass to race against, but he's a great guy. He's a great racer. He gave it his all out there today. It's just. Again, I just wanted to put my 2 cents up here before Jack just comes up here and just says what happens or whatnot because I don't know, dude. I just don't know.
Well, yeah, I could say this.
I just feel horrible about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I can say this because Jack had Jack definitely had the more wins, and he was all around like I think he had a lot more go his way as well. But at the same time, you were out there fighting every single week. He had a chunk of races there that he did not run in. So I honestly, I think that you could say that as for a two guys that were going for the title there, I
Did we just
think
have a
that
tie?
I think that you two were so uh were so split as far as who would have deserved it. So
Could there be a co-champion? I'm vouching for it, co-champion.
co-champion.
Vote for Jack and myself, be co-champions
Uh,
of Winter Season 3. I'm vouching for it. Come
Well,
on.
so
Put the
here's the
petition in.
thing. Here's the thing. So
I'll
here's my
petition
whole
for that.
thing with the situation is, while your fallout happened and you came back on track where you did, that's all circumstantial. Ultimately, and maybe Jack did have to pit when he pit. I thought Jack could have gone at least 5 more laps after you had pit there. Ultimately, it comes down to Jack only putting a can of gas in his truck when he needed a can and a half. So if he had the can and a half, if Josh were to reverse course and take 1 lap away from you, then Jack would get the championship. But I mean, as it stands, I feel like the only thing under review here is whether you're the winner or it's Emmanuel. I think that's the only thing that's up in the air here.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like the Emmanuel should have the win at the end of the day. I mean, I'm just only trying to like say to everyone that I'm still 2 laps down. Like I'm just trying to make sure, all is right in the world because I was just like 2 laps down when I came back on track. I was like, okay, so I'm still 2 laps down. I'm gonna need another lap back. I didn't even look at my F2. I did not look. I never passed. I was just too busy trying to get myself back on track. I wasn't even looking at like the outside of the pits or anything. I'm just trying to get my ass back on the track as soon as possible. And that's when I looked at the F2 when I got myself back into a rhythm and just noticed that I was still 2 laps down. So again, I wasn't trying to do anything malicious or intentional in any way. It's just ended up being that way. Like I said, it's a terrible situation. It's not a really hopeful way you want to decide one of these championships like this.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of jump in and say as well. We're still kind of waiting to see what the official word is going to be here. I agree with the fact that the situation put everyone in a weird spot that they weren't ready for. The rule was followed accordingly, getting you to where you needed to be. I will
Precisely.
also say this though. Cody Lamas would actually win because he got by Emmanuel on the last lap. Emmanuel actually like kind of he lost the
Oh.
truck and hit the wall. So
Oh.
Cody actually came across the line P2. So Cody would win. Emmanuel would be second. I don't know what that would result in beyond that.
I guess I would be third at that point because I passed
Um,
Jack who finished 4th.
yeah. So at that point,
At that point, I would probably still win the title regardless.
I agree
It's
because of
just a
the
terrible thing though.
and I'm with you that I would not want to win it that way.
No,
But
and Jack has every right. I mean, he was pretty upset when we were in the team speak. You should probably listen to him now, but he has every single right to be that upset. To tell you the truth, he has every single right, and I honestly feel for him, honestly, about what has happened. I mean, luck has happened on both sides of the spectrum this whole year, though. He's got a couple lucky breaks, and I've got a couple lucky breaks.
that's racing.
And yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess the best Las Vegas term I can think of is slot machine error.
Slot machine error, yeah.
Slot machine error in my favor, I suppose. Bar 7, I still gives me the jackpot.
Yeah.
I like I said, I don't know. It's just a terrible way to win one of these things.
I think I used the term you went from bust to jackpot just like that, and unfortunately it was at Jack's expense, and but again, you both, I think, and John LaPrade for that matter, for the races that you guys ran, I think you three were the absolute clinic of the field. So regardless of whatever the result is, which it seems like regardless of whatever the uh, end result is after this review, you're going to probably end up being the champion. You came into this race with the championship lead anyway. So, I mean, and you ran all the races. I think that as far as who the champion's going to be. I think that it's still fair play there. Just how you yeah, I'm with you. And if I was in the same situation, I really wouldn't want it like that.
No,
But
and
all in
it
all,
puts a lot of stuff on Josh's shoulders right now too,
mhm,
because being an admin or whatnot, I had to go through a lot of controversial calls myself during a lot of like tomfoolery that has happened. Especially there was a race in Indianapolis where a caution came out during the middle of the pit cycle,
mhm.
and I had no idea how to align that. So
I feel you.
I had to like spend like the last 2-3 minutes trying to figure out what am I gonna do, how am I gonna order the field up with that. And that was like the hard most being an admin is not easy. I mean I can just say that from experience there. Let's just say
Yeah,
I'm just giving the point about that.
there's a reason it wasn't for me. Um, but I think that we can all at least agree on one single thing. I think that you, Jack, and Josh, and Zach, and myself, and all of us can agree that there's only one thing to blame on this: NVIDIA.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to update my graphics driver on this one because that's what it seems to be. Um, I had no idea it could just do that. To tell you the truth, I literally had I work in IT and I never knew that would do that sort of thing.
Well, I'm kind of glad that Zach said it because now that got me thinking, ooh, maybe I should see if I should do the same thing. And then maybe that'll
Congratulations, Zach. You
prevent.
work in IT now.
Yeah,
You're earning your pay.
funnily enough, that was an issue I had early last year, and so did Joe of JTN had the same problem.
Maybe that'll improve my frame rate. Um, but Nick, I mean, regardless, man, you drove a hell of a season. Regardless of whatever this end result is going to be, I still say that champion or not, it is well deserved on your part. You won several races, or at least three. You won three, so still, that's fantastic. So you did great, and I will say that Ford truck looked amazing out there.
Oh yes, very nice.
I'm glad you liked it. I was saving that one for about that thing. Like the flame pattern took me a while to edit because I was trying to find a good flame pattern for it, and I just couldn't. So I had to basically like put a stock flame image, but also modify it to make it like where it looks like clean on the hood, like all around. Yeah, that was based off of Bobby Hamilton that ran the truck at Homestead to clinch the title against Dennis Setzer back in 2004. So I wanted to go run that just to have that championship feel. Unfortunately, I think the flames kind of cooked the graphics card. That's what I'm gonna blame it on at that point. Like it also kind of cooked it. I don't know.
Literally cooked it.
I don't know, dude. I mean, it's also electricity that could spark a major fire. That's what Square D is. That's I don't know what they're gonna do down there. Tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. But regardless, though, it was a hell of a season, and hey, I still say that you've got a lot to be proud of, and I think hey, you're just
Hey,
proving
wake
that
up.
you're still one of the top guys.
User joined your channel.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, great job, man.
definitely not the number one. There's like some others that are like miles better than me still. But I guess I can just finish it off with the I don't know this general stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could finally do it in Bobby's voice now. Let me see if I can do it. Well, we brought a fast Square D Dodge out here tonight in Las Vegas. Of course, we got to thank the Vegas crowd. Of course, this whole Bobby Hamilton tour, it's been great since 2004, 2024 season here. We got to thank Square D for being a good part of it as always. We also got to thank Dana, always being a great partner with us this season. Bailey cigarettes doing pretty good. We have brought some smoke this year. Brought Fast Noel in the truck for a little while, like one race or so. Then we got Bluffkin Pro Series as well, being so great. They were part of our Super Speedway program there. They've done great. Got to thank the Fortnite Squad racing trucks anyway. They were doing pretty good all season long. Just got to thank Josh for doing a great job with the league this year. I know this is his third season doing the Winter Truck Series. It's always so much fun racing trucks in the wintertime before the Maverick season starts anyway. But just got to thank, I think I might have said it already, but Fortnite Squad Racing truck for buying a fast truck like always. My YouTube channel, MimTheQ7B. It's not exactly the way I wanted to go out there and win this title. But like that, I mean, I feel like I'm getting a case of deja vu in 2005 with myself and not myself, but Bobby when Jimmy Spencer at Daytona. It was all controversy there. It just seems like, the week after Daytona, or like a day after Daytona, or 2 days after, it just seems like the controversy just still lingers to this day, 20 years later. How'd I
Thank
do?
you. I think that was pretty good. It was worth it to hear Bobby Hamilton say the word Fortnite. Great job, great season, regardless of the result, man.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, if I lose a title like this, and fine, I don't care. I already have one title anyway. I was just trying to have fun in this race.
It was fun to watch, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Now, I think we got the full scoop there, and hey, whatever the result is going to be what it's going to be. But hey, whatever the result is, I know someone that's going to finish no worse than second is the 48 of Cody Lamas. You got me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Cody, regardless of if it ends up being that you win it or not, it's still you were dang competitive, and despite a spin there, you're still going to end up with a great result. But yeah, it seemed like that it got a little tight out there at certain points. But kind of give me an idea of what it was like running out there.
I can't really say much. It was just a lot of hitting your marks and not hitting the apron, and then when you don't hit the apron, there's like a little grip lane that kind of helps you if you hit it perfectly. So most of the race is just about touching that, and I'm surprised they got third. I was just out there cruising around. The pit exit thing was just rough paint grip shenanigans with the transition is what it is. And yeah, it's just overall a fun season. Got some wins after missing, I believe, 3 or 4 races. So, what could have been if we didn't miss those races? Maybe.
You never know sometimes, but yeah, I'm going to emerge at least a 1 or 2 time winner here on the season. So still got a lot to be proud of there. Going to be seeing a little more of you, I'm sure, for I believe it's season 4.
Yeah, if yeah, should be fine. It all depends on the Tuesday game schedule. And wait. Let's change this topic. Can we talk about something important? Let's talk about the qualifying championship. Okay, the stuff that you guys never talked about.
I guess I should mention that, shouldn't I?
We won the
I did mention it
qualifying
earlier.
championship.
I did mention it at the start that you clinched it, and
okay.
in commanding fashion. So yes, to everybody, one thing that will stand no matter what: Cody Lamas, qualifying competition champion on the season. Just because he kicks butt at qualifying, is what it boils down to.
Yeah, I said to myself, I was like, well, I guess we'll just kind of try out qualifying, and then after I missed those first 2 or 3 races, and I was like, all right, I'll just putz around in the pack in the draft pack for group qualifying. And then I started getting a couple polls, and I was like, oh, we'll go for something, right? And it all worked out. It was fun battling Josh there. He got it down to 3 points the week before, and then I got it back up. That was fun. There's a lot of diversity in the schedule, so some tracks some are strong at, and some tracks are some aren't. So it's a nice little hidden detail that is always fun to do.
Well,
even though some people like Nick and all of them don't like qualifying much.
You didn't need to, but yeah, looking at this,
that's also true.
You for the super speedways, you qualified first, and second. So yeah, I think you've got a bit of a knack for that. Just saying.
Well, it was funny because I think half of those I wasn't even like trying that, like trying. I think the Charlotte one I wasn't even trying for.
And you got a full of Charlotte.
Yeah.
So to everyone watching, when you're qualifying, especially at a super speedway, just don't try.
Yeah, don't think about it. This is usually how it goes.
Just don't think about it, it'll come to you.
When you don't try, you run a way better lap. And Myrtle Beach confirmed that, because my lap came when I wasn't even carrying that. Like it felt like awful. All the awful laps feel like good laps.
Yeah, fancy that. And yeah, you got second, so So, yeah, congrats on the qualifying championship there. Congrats on the win, question mark. We'll get an official word since we do have Josh Mercurio up here. But, Cody, I will let you have your closing thoughts, though.
Wait, win? Did win?
Maybe. I don't know what exactly what he was reviewing. So
it
we'll
would have been
about it.
Emmanuel, but it looks like the win will stand for Nick.
Okay, yeah.
I'm looking at points. Emmanuel was second. Andrew would have been
I'll
Emmanuel.
gladly pass the
was
floor
second.
over to Josh, and he can.
Cody was
give you his
third, a lap
official
down.
announcement.
Oh, Cody was a let
Yeah.
down. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm so stupid.
You gotta crush my heart, man.
Well, I mean, it was a very confusing end to the race. So
I apologize to everybody
Let's just
who watched.
say Dejan Weeks lives again.
Yeah.
IMRC Boston, whatever season that was. And those who know knows the know. Let Josh. I'll give a shout. Good job to Nick. Good job to Jack. We've all been there. We've all lost these championships and win these things in these shenanigans ways, and it probably won't be the last. So it's just how it is. I look forward to doing it all over again in the winter, even though it's pretty much winter all the year now. So.
Well, it better not be once like April rolls around. But anyways, I digress. Still, a lot to be proud of this season. Congrats on a third place finish. My bad. But still, and congrats on that qualifying championship, man. Nicely done.
Smile emoji.
Just before we get to Emmanuel, Josh, I will just ask you, because I know you were looking at that. Just kind of tell us what you were reviewing and if anything came out of that.
Yeah, so by the letter of the law, if you fall out, you get all but one of your laps back. The question that we did have was, when does that all but one of your laps back start? Is it when you come off pit road, or is it when you enter the racing surface? That was one of the questions. And the other question was, is it within the letter of the law for you to get essentially a free pit stop? And we debated about that. Not only me and obviously Jack, who was upset, but also some of the other guys at NNSCRA. And so, within the letter of the law, we're gonna rule that Nick is our champion for this season. But we are gonna make some changes. I think we won't be giving people laps back. We'll either be not giving laps back until we're under yellow, or it might be you only get one lap back when you fall out. Not quite figured out what the new rule will be, but as per usual, Nick does something crazy during a championship, and then we have to change the rules.
I don't look. Listen. It was like that in the Budweiser race at Martinsville too, where I happened to do something tomfool. I don't know where I keep finding these things and all these loopholes I keep finding. I unintentionally. I'm not even trying to manipulate anything or dive deep into the rule book and figure out, oh, I'm good with this. I'll be doing this, whatever that. No, I just keep finding them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nick Gunther getting exposed on Top Dragster.
But I also want to say, despite what happened tonight, I think Nick and Jack would have been deserving champions. They were really competitive, fast, up front, all races, all day. And so, even though, the last race may have tainted the perception of the championship, I think it is well deserved. So I don't want that to distract from that. And also, I think we had a great season. We had great racing throughout the field. And finally we go green from flag to flag, and something weird happens. So
I was honestly praying for a caution, Josh.
Yeah. And so I know Emmanuel might still have to go, but before I let him steal the limelight from me, again, I want to thank everybody for coming and racing with us. I want to thank Andrew and Zach for and all of the other guys who did broadcast with us this season. I tried out something new. The timer is something that I haven't seen before, and I thought would be cool. And then we also did live qualifying this season. So that's what I like to do. I like to try something new. And so hopefully I've inspired you to come and try out this weird league next winter.
Oh yeah, the time races were definitely like a different change of pace. I mean, it was so much fun. Like doing it on an oval as well. Like that's kind of unheard of.
It was a really, really cool deal, and I'm glad that I got the ability to broadcast it. Of course, I'll give all my closing thoughts at the very conclusion of this. Just before we fully wrap it up here, we do have the
Take it away, Emmanuel.
actual second place finisher. My bad.
You sure it's not third place?
I'm pretty darn sure
User
after
left
what
your
I just
channel.
found out. So, but nah, man, you were.
User joined your channel.
I think the main thing that I just wanted to mention to you was just the fact that you were on that kind of alternate strategy. You were pitting short, it seemed. Zach was thinking that you were burning more fuel, but I don't know. Kind of talk me through the early calls there.
Yeah, I wanted to lead the race. We got to lead the race. That's what my goal was because I want to be the first on everything. First on tires, first on fuel. Even we pitted 5 laps earlier. Each pit stop, I had to run long on my last pit stop, which kind of sucked. But all in all, P2 second sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot to be proud of this season. I got a couple of wins this season, so I'm very happy about it. Man, I just wish we had one more spot for the win. And it's my home track, so I want to do good here.
I'd say you did pretty darn good. You were keeping it up there. I guess just I'll wrap it up by just asking you kind of the track itself and how the tire wear seemed to fall. Seemed like there was a lot of just like, while there wasn't a lot of lap time fall off, although there was a good amount. It seemed like it was mostly just in the handling and just trying to keep the truck under you. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it sounded about right. The biggest thing I look at when I come to the end of a pit run is the lap times, how far off I am, how aggressive I can come down pit road. I think I was pretty aggressive tonight. But, whenever I saw that was a second off, I thought probably play some pit strategy, and it worked out a couple of times. I think it worked out 2 out of the 3 times, which is nice. I was more afraid that I had to short pit at the end of the race like Jack, but, I'm happy with the result. P2 at home, but P3 in the championship. Let's go. That's a nice ring to it. I'm like that guy spraying champagne all over myself for 3rd place, but I'll take it. 3rd place, and can't wait.
And me and Jack's just gonna look at you on the side, like, what the hell is he celebrating?
Yeah, and then I can't wait.
I could see Emmanuel doing that.
Yeah.
I don't get to run up front this often, so I gotta take every win I can get, and I can't wait for Nick to exploit something next year, which is going to be fun. So I'm excited about that.
I'll figure something out, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to figure something out. And I just hope that it benefits me this time.
Oh, man. Well, still a great season, great result, couple wins. Yeah, lots to be proud of, man, and a very, very nice job.
Yeah, one more thing, though.
Go for it.
I want to thank you guys for broadcasting the races. Josh for hosting the winter series. For you guys broadcasting, it was pretty fun. It's nice. It's fun. Even though we didn't do good last week, we actually did really good this week. So, but Seth hosting NNSCRA, Josh doing this series. Can't wait for the series. Wait for Nick to start Icebreakers back up. So I heard he's starting it in about 2 weeks. Is what I heard. So
no, I'm gonna say this now. It's a little bit of a delay because everything is kind of like messed up in my life right now, Emmanuel. When it comes to trying to find a job is kind of like the biggest priority for me right now.
Hey, I'm trying to get the viewers what they want.
I know, but they're gonna have to wait.
Well, I don't want to wait. But Icebreakers, it should be coming soon. Hopefully next month. I'm trying.
Either next month or April, I'll do something depending on circumstances.
It's my interview. Leave me alone. Yeah, but I'm trying to push Nick to get this stuff started because I got nothing to do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. So, Nick, I'm looking at you now.
Okay.
Maverick.
You can go run fuel on Wednesdays.
Or fuel, yeah, there you go.
Send me an invite. I'll do fuel on Wednesdays.
I'll check that out too.
Yeah, we got to check it out. And Josh, I'm glad you hot pitted tonight. That's all I got. Thank you guys.
Shit.
Watch your language.
No, don't be like me. Do not be like me.
We need no more F-bombs here. I've already thrown out fines.
I think someone
What
just
are you
said the
talking
S
about?
word, but I might be bugging.
Probably Josh.
I totally just I tuned out as I was looking at something, so it must have gone onto my radar, but I will have to watch that back and find out.
Good job, Josh.
Just
Josh
say
had,
it. Oh, if it
Josh
was
had,
if it was Josh, he owes me double for that race.
Oh,
That
Josh
means I
is-
get double.
Josh has had potty mouth all year.
yeah. You should hear me in TeamSpeak.
I get-
I'm like cussing
I
people
get-
out. I'm worse than Kurt Busch during the
I
race.
I get $2 instead of $1 because Josh swore. Let's go.
Swearing jar works.
I pay Zach more than that. I promise. Actually, I haven't been paying him, but
You
we're gonna
pay
change
him
it.
You pay him in
That's
peanuts.
fine. That's fine. We don't. I'm just making a joke. Let me make a joke.
He wants money. That's what he's trying to say. He's screaming for help.
Well, I am gonna go to Zach here and just ask you because I got to have you here for a good chunk of these final few
User
races.
left your channel.
But your closing thoughts on tonight, closing thoughts on the season, and
User joined your
kind of
channel.
going from there.
Oh man, this one got me my brain rolling after Nick had his technical issue, and then it rolled even more after Jack Pitt, in my opinion, early, and maybe made a call that I wouldn't have made. But now I'm just tired. I mean, that tired me out. All that mental work. I do, I'm working 9 to 5 like everybody else mostly. So, but great playoff run. I got to watch Coca-Cola externally from the infield, and it was a really good chase. Really enjoyed the racing we saw. We had great finishes every week. Tonight was, a little tame, but a little bit of interesting strategy there that Mercurio was trying to maybe pull off. Didn't really seem to pan out. But yeah, I think this is a very cool series. The whole 1 hour time clock's very interesting, and when you go green like you did tonight, you get to have a long race.
Yeah, man. And hey, clean and green to wrap it up. Not too much that you can really complain with on that one. Congrats to Nick Gunther on the championship, no matter how it happened. Well deserved. And a big shout out to Jack Merkel on a fantastic season himself. Thank you to everyone who raced. Thank you to Josh for letting me do this. It's definitely, hopefully, helped to kind of kickstart things a little bit.
User disconnected from
doing
your
this
channel.
maybe a little bit more seriously. So as things are going to just continue to try to build up and get a little bit better
User left
as
your
far as the
channel.
quality goes, and yeah, we'll just try to keep bringing you guys some good stuff. Tune back in here tomorrow night, Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series, and then Hobo starts on Sunday night. That's Atlanta, I believe. Yeah, I think so. So tune into that, and then yeah, next week's going to be just banger after banger after banger. There's a Sheamus reference for you, WWE. We're going to be streaming on Sunday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. It's going to be an extravaganza, but hey, we're bringing it all to you here. Thank you to everyone who's been watching, and hey, it's as I always say, if you watch these and you want to check out the online side of racing, hit up the NNSCRA, hit up Bomb Squad, hit up RTG, hit up Fast Fuel. Oh boy, there's leagues out there for everybody. Virtual H, you name it, and it's out there. So you just gotta know where to look. Facebook's your best bet. Find yourself a league admin and check and see how you can get in and check it out. It's while it might not be at its peak as it once was, it's still pretty darn healthy. It's so cool to see how much of this is still going on, and credit to guys like Josh and Seth and all the admins that put on series like this. We appreciate you all. But on that note, though, great season, and hey, we'll hopefully see you guys again at some point for the NNSCRA Winter Series. Until then, though, we'll see you again for Bomb Squad. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.